Kia ora, Canterbury. It is Wednesday the 20th of August. Hey, yesterday, as you know, we caught up with Mike King talking about his wonderful trust, and we had some lovely feedback about it. And I just want to applaud everyone for actually talking about suicide and about depression. I think it's wonderful that conversation has started. And if you do want to find out more, it is keyforlife.org.nz, his website. So well done to that fantastic feedback. Well, coming up on today's show, we're heading to the theatre and to the movies. And spring is definitely in the air, and next week we celebrate Daffodil Day and we catch up with the Cancer Society. And of course, Ringa Event, we head out on location and see exactly what's been happening there. But first up, we are heading to theatre, and I am joined by Charlie Grubb, who is Brick, or you may think it's Paul Newman, just slightly, just squint your eyes a little bit, looking great for a dead guy, and Emma Price as Maggie. Welcome, looking gorgeous there. Thank you very much for coordinating yourself with the Canterbury Live set. Hey, if you've been living under a rock, and you don't actually know, tell us about Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
Well, I'll start off with it when it's on. It starts on Friday. We're opening on Friday at the Elmwood Auditorium, and we want everybody to pop along and watch us, I'd say. It's a great show, a family drama, I suppose. Some good laughs in there as well. But an issue or a storyline that a lot of people relate to, I think, even now.
Yeah, it is quite relative, isn't it? And I suppose that's why it was a Pulitzer Prize
that's right.
book winner, for telling the future. So Emma, is this your first or your debut on the theatre, or you're an old hat?
No, I've done a few plays with the repertory already, and also some stuff with New Sock and Drama Sock at the university. So.
And what do you think about this role in particular, though?
It's a lot bigger than anything I've done before, I will admit, and I didn't entirely realise that, but no, it's been really, really good, and it's, it's been an experience, definitely. And
Tell us about your background, Charlie, because,
Springing all the questions on us.
Yes.
Well, I come from a very theatrical family. So I won't go right the way back, but but I've been on the stage practically all my life. Done a few bits and pieces, ads, and a few sort of small films and things like that. But at the moment, I'm a drama teacher at Riccarton High School, which I thoroughly enjoy. I've been there for 9 years now. It's my 9th year, so it's a long time.
I bet you've had some characters, because I do believe, and I have to apologise to you, that you even had our sound engineer as one of your students.
Wonderful student
Gordon.
too, absolutely. He was one of the best.
Yeah.
I have to say that because he's here.
Yeah, and he'll kill your sound in a minute, and that's it. And it'll be all about you.
Exactly, yeah. We've got to be nice to him. No, absolutely, he was there. We had a lot of people come through and a lot of characters. A really good school. But I'll hopefully get a group along to watch the show as well.
Yeah.
Because it's a really strong school for drama. And obviously we want people who understand a bit about theatre as well coming along and appreciating what we do up there. Because that's why we want to try and affect the audience in a way, give them something to go away and think about.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Emma, how many are involved in the production?
There's the family, which is the two of us, Brick's parents and his brother and his wife, so there's 6 in that actual family, and then there's also the doctor and the reverend. And then that's obviously then not counting the crew and things.
Yeah. Well, the crew is a very important part. I mean, that's great. I mean, it's wonderful on the stage and it's fantastic. But it does take a big team.
It does,
behind the scenes.
And they've been working really, really hard to
make
it look really awesome, and the lighting and the sound and we've got fireworks that go off in there and stuff. It's not real fireworks,
Okay.
There's a burn our Elmwood Auditorium down, but they've all been working really, really ultra hard and long hours to make it look really fantastic. So.
Okay, so no pressure, but it's up to the two of you now to tease the audience and the viewers out there. What is the story actually about? When we come along, what is the story that's going to unfold for us? No pressure, but about, say, a minute and a half.
It's set at Brick's father's birthday party, and he's dying of the father is dying of cancer, but doesn't know that he's dying of cancer. So the rest of the family knows, except for the father and the mother, and so the family are planning to sit the mother down after the father goes to bed and tell her, but then at the same time, his brother and his wife are planning to try to edge Brick and Maggie out of the father's will, because those two have going on 6 children and Brick and Maggie don't have any children, and Brick's an alcoholic. And so they're trying to...
That's Brick, not Charlie.
Yeah. And so, they're trying to use all of those to then squeeze the 2 of us out of the estate so that they can get the, great big farm. What is it? 28,000 acres of the richest land this side of the Valley Nile.
Well, there we are. There goes that beautiful southern accent coming out. And you see, everyone at home, how this story unfolds. It's a really sexy plot, isn't it?
It is. It's pretty crazy. And there's a... I spent the first, I don't know if I should say this, the first act in a dressing gown pretty much, so,
Was it frilly or,
frilly,
nice
excuse me.
Nice negligee?
No, the final night.
And you spend most of it in a slip, so there you go.
Basically.
The final night. No,
what a hard life you've got. And it's gorgeous being beside you in a negligee. Crikey. Okay. So let's recap. Let's move along. Everyone's train of thought sort of gone to the gutter.
Back on topic.
But so recap, it is at the Elmwood Theatre. Tickets we can go to Event Finder.
Yep.
I think we've got an image there. Great for the on a hot cat on a hot tin roof, and I thank you so much for coming in. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And look forward to hearing about your future productions. It'll be fantastic. Yes. Great catching up with you. Stay with us after the break. We're catching up with Nick Paris.
Let's face it, everyone has an agenda. And guess what? So do I. Every week, I'll pick 3 stories that grab my attention. Agenda with me, Brent Goff.
Come on down to Ferrymead Golf. Care for a game of paintball? How about some swings on the old driving range? Or on our par 3 9-hole golf course? Test your skills on the mini golf course or have a go at the airgun shooting range. Then relax at the Wow Cafe with one of our super succulent Wow Burgers. Whether you want to perfect your swing or are looking for a fun family day out, come down to Ferrymead Golf, 50 Ferrymead Park Drive, right next to the Ferrymead Heritage Park.
Warm yourself up with a delicious wintry meal at Hinton's Restaurant and Vineyard. Let the flavours of the country linger in your mouth long after your plates and glasses have been cleared. Enjoy an afternoon of comfort and class with great people. Hinton's Restaurant and Vineyard.
Action Removals, offering short or long-term storage facilities, full packing services, comprehensive rates, all fully insured and with 6 vehicle sizes to choose from. Earthquake repairs? Action Removals pack, move, store and return your valuable possessions stress-free. Action Removals, a family business that has been operating in Christchurch for over 10 years. Action Removals, your one-stop removal service on time, every time. 0800 222 526.
Warm yourself up with a delicious wintry meal at Hinton's Restaurant and Vineyard. Let the flavours of the country linger in your mouth long after your plates and glasses have been cleared. Enjoy an afternoon of comfort and class with great people. Hinton's Restaurant and Vineyard.
G'day, this is Fletch, your presenter of the TV show Classic Restos. It's the show where it's your chance to see completed restorations being shown, driven and enjoyed.
We just can't get enough of him, so he's coming back and he's coming back. Mr. Paris.
Yeah.
Hey.
Like a virus.
Are you, let's not talk about what virus.
Yeah.
Hey, I've got to tell you, the other day when you came in, on Sunday night, we went to the Armstrong Lie.
You were saying off air, and what do you reckon?
Well, see, in our house, we're a bit conflicted because my partner is mad Lance fan. In fact, we've got in the garage, probably get $1 on Trade Me, a signed yellow jersey of Lance Armstrong, but is now in the garage.
Gathering dust.
So
So friend or foe?
I thought it was very well shot, but still I think he's a pillock.
Right.
But, that's just my opinion. That's what movies are like. They draw you in and you have your own opinion.
We're not there on a soapbox. We're just there to invite people in for their own observations about these subjects.
And that's art.
Yeah, totally.
Anyway, but hey, we're here to talk about, the trailer for the closing night, which is quite...
Wild
we are ready.
From Argentina.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So let's
have a little
there's a trailer, so let's have a look and then we'll chat about it, shall we?
Sounds good. Yep.
Cool.
You're the bit at the end.
Jesus.
What was that?
Okay, I don't know. It was microwave. Sorry, in the staff cafe.
No, it was actually a warning device from the plane. 30,000 feet up in the air. But one doesn't know anything after that. So it's a good teaser trailer.
It is a good teaser. And there's some great feedback from Variety Mag. They said it was wickedly delightful for pure viewing pleasure. The one wild card in the Cannes competition this year is unlikely to be beaten.
Yep, and that's why we put it at the bookend of the festival. Last year, or a couple of years ago, we had Melancholia, opened with Tree of Life, about the big origins of life, and ended with Melancholia, about the blowing up of life, basically. And I think last year, Holy Motors, another anarchic French film, but this year we're topping it all with Wild Tales. So, Argentina's less about Maradona than it is about this one, I think.
Okay.
Lust
for
life.
life.
The World Cup, yeah.
Salt of the Earth.
Brazilian photographer, yeah, he's a bit of an eco-friendly photographer too. He's actually reintroducing rainforests back, replanting and dry, barren lands. But it's actually, he's hulking down with the sort of remote tribal factions up there. And they're still there, they want to be left alone, but he's actually gained trust with them and just taking these shots. And it looks at his life of the Rwandan genocide back into the famine in Ethiopia as well. So it's a compendium of all these stills, black and white and whatnot, that Wim Wenders has fashioned into a great documentary.
Wow, it looks beautiful. And now, excuse my pronunciation, Leviathan?
Yeah, Russian director of The Return is fashioned this gritty little tale of a grumpy mayor who's a bit of a property investor, and he doesn't like the political leanings of his tenants, so he tries to force them from his home. Okay. So this is about fighting back. And maybe we need some of that here.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking it's a bit of a synergy there. I know, crikey.
$1,500 a week in Bishopdale, or whatever it was. Hoon Hay, was it?
And so we need to fight back. Yeah, it's insane. But yeah, a bit of synergy there. Maybe we should go on there.
Story.
This one I want to see, and I don't think I'm going to get to the film festival, so I think it probably will be a bit of, hopefully it'll be on.
Well, you're a bit of a fashion bunny.
Well, I fake it.
You do? You do?
Full of fashion, just like the song.
Yeah.
No, but I do appreciate the discipline at some of these houses and just the powerhouses that they are. So I really, but.
It's more than Project Runway, it's a little bit of September Issue and, and Dine of Reading.
That was
all
a
that
great
stuff.
movie.
How good was that?
Love September Issue.
All the fashion stuff always does well on the festival. Kristen Dwyer, we've got a documentary about that as well. So Yves Saint Laurent and the artist section. Yeah, good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how are you faring up? I mean, are you over the movies yet?
Oh, no, look, one of life's joys in the festival was this morning at Riccarton when we screened to 450 school kids a compendium of shorts from around the world, from Czechoslovakia, Russia, Canada, Taiwan. It got them away from their Minecraft identities and their
Don't talk to me about
Nickelodeon
Minecraft.
Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
And they were just tunnel vision and quiet. They came out bursting with creativity with all these animations they saw around the world. So oh man, I melted with that. They just loved it.
So what does that tell us, Nick? Is that are we not feeding our youth the right movies?
We're feeding them, but we're not offering them an alternative. All the networks are all American-based. The Sky networks, and full of, as I said, Nickelodeon and SpongeBob does all right. But that universe is pretty much well tapped now.
It is, yeah.
And there's an untapped one there, and that's why we were delighted to bring an hour's worth of short films today.
So is it too early to talk about 2015 at the film festival?
Yeah, we've got agents all going around the globe already looking at next year's program. But there's still a few days to go here. I'm looking at one called Tender, which looks good, about a community in Australia fighting back, taking control from rich corporate funeral services and sort of having an affordable one,
Oh my goodness. That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Hey, and just to recap, Wild Tales is playing Thursday at 4 o'clock and Sunday at 8:15 for the final night. Thank you so much, Mr. Paris.
Pleasure. See you again next year.
Yeah,
on the other
absolutely.
Side. Yeah,
but before. Hey, stay with us after the break. Spring is in the air. Daffodil Day is next week.
CTV News and Weather, first at 5. Be the first to find out about the rebuild, local politics, business, sports, culture and community. CTV News and Weather, first at 5, only on CTV.
A Avoid the monkeys when it comes to relocating. Trust A1 Movers, a family business since 1993 that guarantees a professional job every time. We carefully handle and wrap your valued items, ensuring they have a safe journey. Secure storage and insurance options are also available.
A1 Movers, the careful, caring moving company. Oi!
Looking for that perfect gift for a loved one? Wanting to add some vibrance to your home, or just looking to brighten up your workplace? No matter the occasion, the Hitching Post has something for everyone. Lose yourself in their extensive range of homeware, art, glass and plasma cut metalwork. The Hitching Post is your one-stop shop for great style and quality. So come on down to the Hitching Post, 722 Marshland Road.
Are you looking for more from your local channel? CTV are online. Our latest listings, on-demand shows, program information, all on the CTV website. We'll see you there.
Take a multi-dimensional look at the unique facets of European culture, fashion, film, music, art and everything in between. Euromax, every weekday at 8 a.m, right here on CTV.
Welcome back. Well, I'm joined by Jane Sheriff from the Cancer Society, and I'm sure it's a very, very busy office that you have at the moment.
Oh, it's very busy. It's very yellow.
Very, very yellow. Speaking of yellow, we've got a new friend here.
We have.
George the beautiful bear. And so he's for sale, Jane, as well as, of course, the daffies that we have that we can catch up. And he's only $10. Hear that? He's only... Get that away from his ear. He's too beautiful to have that in front of his ear. Good old George.
He's $10 and he's available from our office in Fitzgerald Ave.
He's even got a daffy on his paw.
Any branch of the ANZ Bank.
Oh, ANZ Bank, cool. Well, that was my next question to you. I mean, do we have to, go to the Cancer Society to buy it? But you can go to ANZ. It's too easy.
For the teddies, you can go to the ANZ Bank, and then there's some we sell them at Christchurch Hospital out of the oncology department as well. But the easiest place for people is probably either a bank or our office on Fitzgerald Ave.
Okay. Well, Jane, we're talking about teddy bears and we're talking about daffodils, and they're all lovely and that, but let's get to the actual real heart of the story, and that's cancer. How many currently do we have cancer sufferers in New Zealand?
Well, every day 60 New Zealanders are told they have cancer. So
60.
So that's what the Cancer Society is there to support, those people who hear those words. And that's what we need Daffodil Day for, so that we can raise the funds, so that we can provide the services to help those people who are on a cancer journey.
And I mean, it's, we do know of the Cancer Society, and thank goodness it is well supported because it affects every family, and even indirectly or workplace. You know someone. What are the services that you do offer?
Well, we have supportive care services, which are what we really promote around Daffodil Day time. So those are the services in supporting people. Our 0800 cancer information line that people can ring and seek advice, support. There's confidential, it's anonymous if you want it to be, and it's available to anyone. And then, of course, the more practical hands-on information, resources, publications, printed material, reference to websites. And then one of our really big areas that probably lots of people who've been in and out of Christchurch Hospital will see as our volunteer drivers, and they take people to and from their oncology appointments, pick them up from home, drop them off. And if you've been into the hospital or travelled on the roads around Christchurch much, you'll know that it's a reasonably difficult task sometimes to find a park. So if you're unwell and you need to get to the hospital for an appointment, that's one of the little services that are really appreciated by the patients, but it's done by volunteers.
Yes, and you're always looking for volunteers, Jane?
There's always a recruitment for volunteers in certain areas, and driving's probably one of those more visible and hands-on activities. And of course, if people go away overseas or unwell, we need to find other drivers. But we have volunteers that serve tea and coffee at Christchurch Hospital, people who do baking, people who go and visit people in their homes, women who make turbans and temporary prosthesis, volunteers who answer our telephones at the office, all sorts of things. There's any amount of jobs volunteers can help us do.
No little job is there really. Everyone's and of course another aspect of it is you assist with also wigs, because unfortunately, especially not downing it for men, but for women, you know, it's part of your femininity, isn't it?
That's right. So in our offices, the Look Good Feel Better organisation every couple of weeks runs their course, supported by the Cancer Society, and so they do have that service in helping women feel better about themselves. But we provide turbans and wig stands to women. So we've got some wonderful turbans and beanies that are provided at no cost, and people come in and out of the office, and volunteers make them and have a great time, and have all sorts of colours and make people feel good about themselves.
And that's the key, isn't it? It's making themselves feel better about themselves. So what is the significance behind the daffodil, though? Why is it selected? Well,
the daffodil's, of course, our symbol, and it's an international symbol associated with cancer, really. It's the first flower of spring, so it symbolises a hope and life for those people living with a cancer diagnosis. So it comes out of the ground, out of a nasty little old bulb, and grows into a wonderful daffodil, which is a great icon for the Cancer Society.
What are you hoping this year for the Cancer Society, Jane? Is there any on your wish list that you hope to get through this year?
Well, I mean, there's always all sorts of things we need to raise funds for, but we've moved to new premises on Fitzgerald Ave because our building in town was damaged by the earthquake. So just ensuring that we can have a successful Daffodil Day and we can support people on their cancer journey, that's probably what makes us all go to work, and our volunteers get out and do what they can do, make a difference to people.
Yeah, and that's the key, isn't it, making a difference, and especially through such a difficult time. Well, let's recap. So Cancer Society, next Friday is Daffodil Day at the ANZ Bank. You can pick up beautiful George there, I think he's just divine, or a daffodil to support this wonderful cause. Jane, I really do thank you, and I thank your team. You provide such a wonderful service in a very difficult time and bring a bit of cheer, which is needed.
Thank
All
you
the best
very
for
much.
next Friday.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a delightful show. We've had some wonderful, wonderful stories. Now, on tomorrow, we have Phyllis Brown. We're talking about the Sixth Sense. So I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great evening.
At the Rangiora Vet Centre today, Emily takes us through the role of a vet nurse in the hospital.
I'm going to be talking to you about what it is the hospital nurse does when we're in the hospital role. So every morning the vets have what we call rounds, and they come round and assess every patient. So what we do is we check their temperature, their pulse and their heart rate to make sure that that's all normal, and obviously any abnormalities we report to the vet and find a way to rectify that. We also check things like their pain levels to make sure that they're nice and comfortable and see if there's anything that the vet can do to change that. Assess their demeanour to make sure that they're nice and happy, nice and bright. Obviously if they've been a little bit happier the day before and then the next day they're a little bit quiet, we want to find out why and see if that's because of pain or anything like that. Hello, sweetie. And if there's any signs of pain, then the vet will obviously rectify that and make sure that they're okay. Also assess the hydration status every day to make sure that they've got enough fluids in their body. So whether or not we need to add any IV fluids or making sure that they're drinking enough, perhaps add some wet food or anything like that. Also important to monitor their ins and outs. So what I mean by that is making sure that they're urinating and defecating normally, to making sure that everything that's coming out is normal as well. So we want to make sure that they've got normal faeces, that they haven't got diarrhea or anything like that, and making sure that their urine doesn't have any blood or anything like that in it. Hello, sweetheart. Nutrition as well is really important with patients in the hospital. We have to make sure that they're getting exactly what they require every day. Also using the diet that's specific to the case. So if you've got an animal that's got a skin allergy or a food allergy, you want to make sure that whatever they're allergic to isn't part of their diet. Quite often a lot of animals are allergic to something like beef or chicken, so we need to make sure that that's not in their diet at the moment. Also needing to make sure that they are eating happily as well. Quite often we might need to give them a little bit of anti-nausea medication or some kind of appetite stimulant to make sure that they're eating enough. Every day our kennel assistant Andrew as well takes them out every morning and every afternoon, sometimes in the middle of the day as well for a wee walk. That's to encourage them to toilet outside. Also just can be a big boost of improvement for them to make sure that they're getting a little bit of outside time. They can go a little bit stir crazy being stuck in these cages sometimes. Other than that, the most important things would be obviously keeping the vets up to date, so the vet's who's in charge of the case to make sure that the animal is happy and healthy and without pain and basically improving every day. So we do that in the morning and the afternoon. The vet in charge will come around and have a look at the animal and go through with the nurse what's happening. And then we'll give the clients an update in the morning, in the middle of the day and at the end of the day as well, just to make sure that they're happy with everything that's going. Also encourage them to come in and visit the animal. Sometimes, a lot of the time, the patients will perk up significantly if their mum or their dad or their other family members come to visit them. It can make them a lot happier. So that's basically what we do every day in the hospital, just making sure that your patients are happy and healthy and that everyone's getting better each day.
I'm Andrew, I'm the animal care assistant here, and basically what the job details is that I look after the patients before and after their operations, and I supply them with a nice warm bed and food and water, and basically make sure that they're comfortable here. And some patients that come in, if they're just come out of their operations or if they just physically can't walk, just have problems with their legs, then we won't walk them, but we will spend a bit of more time with them, you know, just give them a pat, strokes, and just try to make them feel as comfortable as possible in the environment.
Join us next week for more when we return to the Rangiora Vet Centre.